Isn't that beautiful too, to realize you can do something great and you're building without the stress? So then it's play.
It must feel like play. It must feel like fun. Everything else we just hire.
Kids, they only care to play. They don't care about money. Adults only care about money, never care to play.
I grew up with not a very good impression of business owners because I did not really understood that the guy in the supermarket, the pizzeria guy or the ice cream guy, the way that I thought was, it's not a very good look to be a business owner, because the only way to be successful is you need to be doing dodgy things. I mean, there's just no other way. They need to be doing corrupt things. So that's how I grew up. And it's, of course, it's kind of like totally the opposite of the USA.
I don't want to be on my phone.
Yeah.
Phone makes me close to those who are far and far from those who are close.
Blah, 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 wishy-washy. You were on WhatsApp like 5 minutes before the podcast, so you, okay?
Because I missed you, truly. I was like,
yeah, whatever.
I miss talking to Pablo. When my wife and I weren't clear on like, hey, what are our expectations and what are you going to own? What am I going to own? What are our roles? It just creates confusion and frustration. You're the visionary CEO, and then you have a team, a COO, a chief of staff that are executing. It's got to be the same with a house. A woman can be an amazing CEO of a house or a business. Great, support it. Just choose that person to be CEO. Don't try and co-CEO. Never co-CEO.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. A lot of things, a lot of balls in the air and great things. And I was talking, I can't remember with who today, and I was saying like, I'm so glad that I have operational people around me, because I would be so fucking stressed.
Yeah.
So stressed. Yeah, this is incredible.
Dude, isn't that beautiful too, to realize you can do something great and you're building without the stress? So then it's play.
Well, that is the condition that, I mean, I took this from you. I would say, this is the only thing positive about this podcast.
I knew you were going to go there. As soon as you said it, I could tell you.
This is the only thing.
Well, and the money you've made, the late fees.
And the late fees, yeah.
Like, nobody's made late fees like this since Blockbuster. VHS. Yeah, you're 15 minutes late. That'll be $4,522.
Yeah, the tax authority is like, excuse me, you made $4 million last year. Oh yeah, let me introduce you to Peter. He's the reason of all my success. But yeah, that comment that you made about like, this needs to feel like play, and this is how we are building with my co-founder. And it's just the only way.
Yeah.
And I literally told him this when we were talking, and he's like, well, but I just want to clarify. I don't want to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, listen, let's just keep it super simple. It must feel like play. That's it. It must feel like fun. That's it. Everything else we just hire.
30 hours with this guy. The only thing I took away is make things like play.
That was potentially your most valuable contribution to the setup of this podcast. Not to the day-to-day, right? To the day-to-day, besides being late all the time, but besides that, your contributions, people love you. We had 3 subscribers because of you, so that's fantastic. Like your mom,
my dog.
I
don't know if that counts.
Yeah, you handle the account, so kind of dodgy, but whatever.
We're boosting. Are you ready for a mic drop on this? Do you know where I got it needs to feel like play? Truly?
No.
From my kids. From being around kids. So think about, ready for this flip? I've never thought of this until you said it. Kids, right? They only care to play. They don't care about money. Adults only care about money, never care to play.
Wow.
And I have this gift of these 4 little humans that are helping me take away this shell of money, ego. What do people think? What do people think? I mean, I took my daughter. Wait, this is a great story. Do you want a quick story?
Yeah.
It ties into what do I do in the morning. So yesterday, we're getting ready. I wake up and going out of the house is like do or die time for families with young kids, because it's like the kids are playing, they're having fun. The parents are like, go. So you've got like a wall and the kids or the parents' mission. And it's like, kids are resolute and let's play. Parents are just pounding the wall.
Totally misaligned incentives.
Right? So my amazing wife had a kid 5.5 months ago. She's like, I use it. She's cattle. That's how I describe it. Like, she's kind of like the cattle driver. Like, she's the rancher, like poking the cattle, like, come on, come on. I take the opposite approach. I'm like, hey, guys, I'm going to leave in 10 minutes. Be ready. Can you do that? Because mom doesn't think you can. She doesn't think you know how. Do you know how to do that? Can you get your food, your backpack, your jacket? You would love this. So she's like, she's kind of, they're going to be late. They're going to be late. I'm like, yeah, that could happen, but let's see. They get ready. Yeah, we're late. So in the car, so we're walking out to the car. My 2-year-old doesn't go to the school, but she loves to feel like the older ones to come. She has no pants on, no clothes on, and I just throw a jacket on her.
And this is in winter, right?
Oh yeah, it's snow. It's all snow outside. So I'm driving and I'm like, uh-oh, if we're late, because I haven't been late enough to school that you have to walk them in. Like if you're more than a couple minutes late, you have to walk them in. And I'm like, wait a minute, we might be late today. So first we use the opportunity I asked the question, what can we do so we're not late next time? I'll give 2 examples. So I stated, hey, I'm just going to say the time I'm leaving and I'm going to give you a 2-minute warning. There's my 2 examples. And then each of them had like, my sweet 4-year-old was like, I was going up to give mom a kiss and a hug goodbye. I should have done that downstairs when she was downstairs. Cause she took 10 minutes to like wander up, find her mom, give her a kiss. She's just probably stopping on the way and playing. So it was a chance for us to kind of all talk about what we could do differently, grow everything else. And then as I'm pulling up to the school, I'm like, oh my gosh, if we're too late and they have the door closed, I have to walk through the school with all 3 of my oldest kids, one of whom is naked and just a jacket. So fortunately, we did not have to do that. I made it there. We made it there like 3-4 minutes late. Somebody, was coming in, took my oldest 2, dropped them off. But just for fun, I called my wife and I'm like, hey, I had to walk them through school because we were late. She was worried about being late. What's the worst that can happen? I go, it's okay. They didn't care that I was naked when I walked through. And she goes, they're going to call the police. I know what happens in these situations. We're going to be questioned. She's like, code red. This is all yesterday. Code red, like, you don't understand. You can't take a kid naked through a school.
This is, of course, I never thought about this. And of course, if someone doesn't know you, they would be like, what the fuck, right? But I know you and it's like, oh, this is a normal day in your house.
Yeah.
But is this like a serious offense in the USA or?
Everybody's so just like scared and ready to worry. And, there have been parents who let their kid who's like 6 or 7 go walk, to the store to buy something and come home, and they get the police called on them for like not being a responsible parent. And the deep thing is, I appreciate those humans out there who are worried and trying to help the kid. That's their intention. The issue is, right, I was in Cuba this last weekend. In Cuba, these kids are roaming, just learning life, playing, this fear. Literally you have kids trying to hitch a ride from like the bus we were on when we were driving around the country. In America, that just doesn't exist. And it's this, I think it's the news media and social media has implanted this fear of the 1 in a billion kid that was kidnapped. And I always flip that and say, who wants to kidnap the kids? Like in 15 minutes, they're going to realize they made a mistake because they're going to be like, they won't stop asking for stuff. They're crying, they're whining. They're like, what is going on? So I think that creates this whole issue or challenge where everyone's so scared and everyone's so worried because they heard about one news story and this one issue. That's how I perceive it, including this guy walked his kid through the school naked, which I would not do for the record. I did not do for the record. I just liked messing with my wife and her fear around being late that morning.
I think that there is a big difference between someone left the kid inside of the car for 12 hours or someone left the kid inside of the house for 3 days or whatever, alone, or someone sent the kid to buy cigarettes and come back, or alcohol, or anything with 6 years old, which is, not cool, in my opinion.
Agree.
And your kid being naked and with a jacket on top and with you. Like, seriously, the government gets to tell you how to dress your kid?
And the first three you said, the first two at least, I mean, there's a decent probability the kid can die in all of those situations, right? So those are serious issues, and it's illegal in the U.S. to leave a kid by themselves under. It's a state by state, but generally like 11, 12, 13, you can't leave them unattended by an adult, which some would argue is too high. It's like 11, 12. And sorry, maybe that's babysitting. Maybe it's you can leave them at 8 or 9. I need to check. My kids are too young, so I don't know this stuff. But it comes back. There's a really beautiful book by Jonathan Haidt, that The Anxious Generation. And he basically says a flip. We underprotect kids online. We overprotect kids in the physical world. So we underprotect in the digital world and we overprotect in the physical world.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the government getting into in the middle and start telling you and deciding one age, another age, and this and that. Like, I think that there should be rules, right? If something happens, then you should pay the price. But then when we get into, okay, now because there was this problem, now nobody else can do X, Y, Z.
Horrible.
That is a slippery slope. That is a challenge because who the fuck says 12, 11, 10? Like, shocking. Now we have also different rules in different states. Like,
yeah,
people are just making up shit based on something. And I'm sure, as always, very good intentions, even communism, very good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, get away from my kids.
And it's so fascinating because I have seen both sides. I have a family member who was dealing with mental health trouble, and the state actually took the kids away. And I was supportive, appreciative of how it operated. And it's somebody in my general family. And I watched it and I was there. I was the day they showed up. And that's a powerful experience. And it's actually something that I was deeply thankful and appreciative of the way I saw it operate. And then my wife is a children's dentist. So they are the first line of defense, right? Because kids have, my teeth hurt. Well, they're the ones who might see abusive marks. They might see things that, you don't have to take your kid to the doctor, but when they're really in pain, which often starts in teeth because of our horrible diets and other reasons, they're kind of the sometimes sole outside person interacting with the kid. And it is fascinating, right? Seeing those as safeguards that I think are done, at least in the state of Indiana, relatively well. I don't know. I can't speak for the rest of the U.S., but that's kind of the worst case scenario that I've seen.
All right. So you went to Cuba. What's up? Short story.
Man, powerful.
Tell me about the differences, or what did you see from the communism point of view, let's say?
I have a new challenge. Anyone that has what I'll call kind of far more Marxist views, communist views, oftentimes they don't realize they do, or they just, it sounds good and they don't necessarily know histories or countries. I will pay for their flight, their hotel, and their trip to go to Cuba.
What's the point?
What do you think the point is?
Well, the way that you said it is like, oh, dude, pay for me. I go to the Sheraton and fuck it. Great vacation.
Yeah. Guess what? There isn't a Sheraton because the government owns every hotel.
There is. I'm sure that there is a hotel there, right?
Yeah.
That tourists go and spend money.
Correct.
They live in a bubble.
And it's not a Sheraton. The bubbles don't really exist. I was in Havana. I drove back and forth across the entire country.
That's what I'm saying. But there are places that people go, they just drink alcohol, and they're in a 5-star, which maybe it's like a 3-star for other. Okay, whatever. But tell me, besides your generosity that you just keep spending money on everyone, besides that, just tell me what the fuck happened.
The experience you just mentioned is in theory makes sense. In practice doesn't, because you can't start a hotel. Every single hotel is owned by the government. And so they're basically all like, the very best ones feel like a youth hostel when you go camping or when you go travel around the world. The best hotels feel like a youth hostel. So it was, I'll flip it and I'll start with the positive. The positive that was really interesting, I was not expecting to see, was Cuba is a land it was all Spaniards. And then it became, once slave trade was illegal in the US, it became the largest slave trade location in North America and South America. It was like slaves were coming from Africa to there. Well, those people have all integrated so well because everyone's so poor. Like every single person is just so poor, and they're all just hoping to get food and hoping to have clothes and feed their kid, that it's created this community that I truly wasn't. I was surprised at how just happy, focused, and aligned on their purpose everyone was. Because it was just like, I just want to eat. I just want to get my food. I'm so thankful. So guess what the wage a month was for a priest or a pastor starting a church? Guess what they made a month?
It's like $10 or something like that.
$50 a month. And you're right. Their wife made $15 a month. So we'd come in and we'd offer $100, $200, and they just start shaking and crying in American dollars.
You were offering money for what? Like sex or what?
People were starting churches. They were, I didn't hear what you said. I've never done a mission type trip, and I thought it'd be really interesting to Cuba, and I've, thought it'd be interesting to this missionary. So these are people starting or have started churches. So probably 10 families, we gave like $600 to $700, which is like, couple years of. And we told them, you cannot spend this on your church. You have to spend this on yourself to make sure you have the food and the stuff for you and your kids. They'd close their eyes, they'd put their hands out, and then we'd each put like $100 or $200 each. And then it ends up being, I don't know, $700 to $1,000. And they burst out uncontrollably with crying, emotional.
That's awesome. And I love that. I think that you get a family in the USA that is making whatever, and you give them 10 times their monthly salary, 12 times, 15 times their monthly salary, and they will do the exact same thing.
Totally agree. And this is the thing that blows the circuits in my brain. I could almost see the Florida Keys when I was on the North Shore of Cuba. It's 90 miles from the house that I ended up being in. We landed in Miami on Sunday. I went down there on Monday. I was in the Florida Keys. I can see Cuba. It's the same vibe, same tropics, same land. It's just an island just up. But the system that operates it has some of the most expensive houses in the United States, right, along these little islands. And then it has complete poverty and just a different system. That's all. It's the only difference.
It's obvious that one system, from a sense of freedom and prosperity, is better than the other one. The challenge is that you cannot experience today communism without being choked by capitalism. And one more time, I don't want communism. Fuck you, Marx. Right? I don't know. But all I'm saying is, I don't think that Cuba would be so fucked if it hadn't been excluded by all the capitalist countries. So there's a big blockage, I think that is called, that has been done to Cuba for the last 50 years. And this is why the only thing that you see is super old cars and shit like that, right? Everything is super old.
I will say cars. So the old ones weren't really there. Most of the cars today are American, Korean. They're coming from all over.
Brand new? No.
I was told, I didn't fact check this, only 5% of Cubans own a car. Now, here's my perspective on what you just said.
A question. The cars on the street are from the 50s, 60s, or they are 2010?
1 out of 10 cars I saw, probably 10%, were from the 50s or 60s. 95% of the cars I saw were from, just look like, they actually didn't always.
Made in China, maybe.
But I didn't see Chinese brands. That was the weird thing. Like I saw a lot of high-end days. I saw a lot of like random Asian brands. Yeah, I think what I would say to you, I think the capitalism comments tied to Charlie Munger's quote where he said, greed doesn't run the world, envy does. It's like there's a certain amount of enviousness. Like, let's just forget about the rest of the world. Let's imagine the entire world was just Cuba. It's kind of operating the same way it was. It's worse because capitalism left and there were some businesses there, yada, yada. But dude, out in the country, guess how they get around? You're going to laugh at this. Horses. They literally have horse and buggy. And I kept a friend who has a truck. I have a Cybertruck. He has a truck. I kept going, man, you have a beautiful horse. You just have a beautiful horse. And so every time we'd see horses, he'd just start laughing and he'd stare at me and I'd be like, yeah, they're using the straps and you use what do you call that thing you use? I've never thought of this comparison, comparing the straps, whatever you call it, the reins on a horse to the steering wheel. It's like, yeah, it's all the same. It's awesome. Beautiful horse you have. So he was laughing each time, but everybody's just in like horse and buggy out in the country.
one thing that you were like, holy shit, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't think that it was like this. Or besides the money part that you just mentioned.
Biggest takeaway is how capitalism creates free, but the lack of freedom creates the fairness. And the fairness, whether it's a world war, whether it's communism, these horrible things create a bonding between humans that is palpable and powerful. Like the race stuff, nobody cares. Nobody knows. The like sexes, nobody cares. No, I mean, there's definitely more of a male society there because it hasn't, changed as much, but everybody's just kind of chill. Like it just feels a lot more. And granted, I was in churches and with really religious people, which I think tend to feel a little happier anyway. But just overall, like people seemed a little more. Now, granted, there was a rock thrown through our bus, and the guy who organized the trip was hit by the rock, and he's super religious. He was like, "The devil's coming after us." I was sitting next to him. It was wild. It hit him in the side, broke the whole window. So there are like people, and they said this does happen. There's just people sitting in ditches waiting because they just have no money, and they'll just kind of jump or take whatever you have. And then, like I tried to go out in Havana the night we were in Havana. They're like, "Do not go out there. You're a gringo. Look how pale you are. You're gonna get mugged." And they're just going to take whatever you have. So there's definitely still poverty, and I thought of you because in Havana where we stayed, every window had bars on it. The patio had this huge cage. And I thought of you and I was like, wow, who's are we being protected or are we a prisoner? And it's kind of like communism. It's like the microcosm is we're in this building and we've got all cages around us. It looks like a bird cage where we're on the patio. And it's like, are we being protected? Or are we a prisoner of this system, this city, this whatever? And your statement, right? You said you'll never live in a place where people have bars across the window. It's like...
I grew up in Argentina where there was no bars anywhere. And then I remember the moment that bars started coming into our neighborhood. And we had to put... And it's like... And it was not really what? It's like, no, we need to do because the other day they broke into the window of the other person and the other one. And then everyone start putting bars. Everyone start putting bars, and then it just becomes normal. And you don't realize. And here where I am right now, I'm in Spain, and it's the same thing. There are areas that is like bars, and I'm like, Jesus, this is such a terrible leading indicator of where we are going. I have not seen, and maybe there are some examples. Put it in the comments. Have not seen a neighborhood saying like, finally guys, okay, let's remove the bars, let's remove them. Never. It's always, they stay there and they keep expanding. Which is kind of insane.
It's so deep because I've never thought of another flip. We got 3 good flips on this one so far. Are you being protected? Are we being protected? Or are we being a prisoner? Right? It's like, it's hard to know, right? Okay, communism, we're doing communism to protect you from the rich, evil people, and we're going to make everyone equal. And then you're suddenly putting bars on your house because of this new great system.
But then people keep voting that shit. Even in a capitalist country, and things get very, very bad, and people just keep voting. Well, what I would say in Argentina, and again, half of the country will disagree with me, so fuck you, right? Just put it in the comments, no problem. Let's go out after it. So the challenge with socialism, communism, Marxism, and all this, and I'm talking about specifically countries that don't say we are socialists, we are communists. Let's say like Venezuela, which is like, yes, red t-shirts, let's go, Marxism, communism. We are a communist country. Or Cuba. This is about countries that start leaning left, and then they become more socialist, and then they The challenge is that one of the first things that these governments do is they give a lot of benefits to people, a lot of free shit. Nothing is free, but a lot of free shit.
It appears free.
Yeah, and again, nothing is free because
you're paying.
Someone needs to pay for this. I don't know who, but someone needs to pay for this. And usually whoever pays passes down that bill to somebody else to share it, right? So, you want to charge more taxes? well, the guy at the store will need to raise the prices because the guy at the store is not going to work for free. He needs to keep his margin. And then at the end of the day, the consumer ends up paying more. Everything becomes more expensive. And again, easy to see in countries with inflation or hyperinflation, something that Americans, Europeans started experiencing after 2020, 2021, and so on. But the challenge is that by giving free shit, there is a piece of society that stop really pursuing life, stop really trying to better themselves because they get a handout. And maybe a good way of saying this is just think about your kids, right? And imagine that monthly allowance or weekly allowance that you give to your kid. Imagine that you keep giving that after 18, after the 20s, after the 30s, after the 40s. What is the incentive of your kid, which is not a kid anymore, to start working and to start finding their purpose in life and starting being a productive member of society? Not much. Not because it's not inside of him or her, but because you fucked it up. You changed the incentives, and now the person is not incentivized to go after it. Again, maybe it comes from a good place, try to help. Maybe it comes from an evil place, which is like, fuck it, this is how we buy votes. Maybe it's a mix, maybe it's something else, I don't know. But it always ends super bad. Super bad. So then you end up in Argentina, you end up having like 50% below the poverty line. I wouldn't say that everyone got free shit, but a big portion. So now all of a sudden, these are the people that are very, very motivated to go and to march, to go and protest, to go and block the streets, to go get another salary raise, another everything mandated by the government, right?
Tell them what you think of a business owner. Like, what did that mean to own a business?
Well, I could say what I thought growing up, because that I wouldn't say that everyone thinks like that. And also, I'm 41 years old. So totally different back then than today. So I grew up, in the 90s and whatever. And I grew up with not a very good impression of business owners because I did not really understood that the guy in the supermarket or the tiny supermarket, right, is running a business, or the pizzeria guy or the ice cream place guy. So the way that I thought was, this is not a very good look to be a business owner, because the only way to be successful is you need to be doing dodgy things. You need to be avoiding taxes, or the other word I can't remember. Meaning you don't declare your income. You try to avoid declaring as much as possible. There is a lot of cash. Whatever is coming in cash is not really getting declared, which, by the way, is something that I am seeing a lot also in Europe. And maybe it was always like this, or maybe it's just a consequence of socialist Marxist policies.
Wow.
Where people realize, listen, I can't really raise the price for this thing that I am charging much more, but also I don't really want to give 50% of this to the government.
Yeah.
I'm not that rich to give 50% to the government. I am making like a normal salary. Why do I need to give 50% to the government? Like, well, this is stupid. So I grew up with business owner is not very good. And especially the big businesses. I mean, there's just no other way. They need to be doing corrupt things.
Yeah. That's
how I grew up. And it's kind of like totally the opposite of the USA. But I would say when I went to the USA for the first time, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, that was I would say a different USA than today, at least from a narrative point of view and from the media point of view that I can see. Because now there is a socialist, communist narrative in the USA, which is crazy. It's just insane.
I mean, you are right, but it is fascinating to think that happened previously, right? I mean, when Soviet Union was coming, there were communist lovers across the US. There was they called the Red Scare.
I didn't know. I guess that you always have, right? I'm sure that you have skinheads and you have Nazis in the USA and in every single country of the world, for sure. To me, this is much more than just a couple of nut jobs.
You're right. And I think there's a lot there, right? On a lot of different levels. I think the one thing I look at as we come back, it's like the heart versus the head, right? A lot of times people that are feeling this, it's purely an emotion they're feeling or they believe is coming from their heart versus like humans have a heart and a head. We're so fortunate. It's blending those two together to make logical, loving, emotion-filled decisions with logic. It's like using both is how you live a fulfilled life. Living in one creates a really bad outcome.
Yeah, but I think that this is very connected with just the brainwashing that is happening. Because if you just watch CNN or any of these bullshit networks, you just get brainwashed.
Yeah.
That's it. If that's the only thing that you consume, you just get brainwashed. That's it, period. End of the story. If you start consuming a lot of different, then you can at least see another point of view. But also, are you curious of learning the truth? Are you a truth seeker? Are you a truth seeker or you are a bullshit eater? What are you?
I'll take a large order of, I'll take large order of bullshit. That'd be great. Thank you. I mean, think about it, but most people would choose that on their plate for like horrible food and in their ears on horrible content, right? We're consuming. And to your point, right? We never know. We all create our own little silo, but I love your curiosity to try and learn from someone else, to try and prove myself wrong. Come with the intention of updating my belief to figure out why I'm wrong rather than come to prove that I'm right. Am I coming to prove a point or am I coming to improve how I think? That's a choice. Prove or improve.
I think it all comes back to the educational system. That's where it goes. That's where the initial brainwashing happened.
I had some dreams that like I was back in school and feeling a prisoner, like elementary school.
I spoke today with a friend, a common friend, and this person was saying, yeah, my kid's 6 years old. Yeah, the boy, 6 years old. And our friend says, yeah, I just want to take them out of the school system. I want to find a different way. So it's looking at different options. But what they said was, all right, why? What's going on? I said, well, my kid, it's a boy, 6 years old. He's just running all the time like crazy, quote unquote. It's just normal shit. And then he comes one day and it's like, hey, parent, why are women just better than men? Why do they behave better than us? And my friend's like, well, why do you say that? Like, well, because in school, boys, we are always getting into trouble, and the girls are not. And why do you get into trouble? What do you do that you get into trouble? Well, we are always running and wrestling and doing this and doing that. And yeah. And my friend is like, fuck, man, this is 6 years old. So, and then my friend was saying, well, they spoke with the parent and after speaking with the teacher. And after speaking with the teacher, it's like, hey, listen, this thing that you're doing, it's having this implication. My kid came and told me this. And then the teacher just didn't know. It's like, oh, I didn't know I was trying to do this. Not in a bad place, but just look how, I don't know exactly what's the problem. If it's just lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, lack of qualifications, the system is overwhelmed, and this is a business, and let's just fucking hire someone and fuck it. I don't know what's the reason, but it's insane.
I think I kind of zoom out to think about what was education till 1850s and German industrialization, where they were preparing for a factory. It was multiple ages. So you had older boys teaching younger boys and older girls teaching younger girls. It wasn't the teacher. When we shifted to pure industrialization, which is same age, same group, it's now, I think, 96% female-led. And these amazing, my mom's a teacher, most of her career, amazing hearts that want to help and everything else. My mom is not someone that's going to push adventure. Still today, I'm 37 and she says, be safe every time I leave, or just come home and be safe. Like she's just got this big, I want to protect you heart. I'm trying to get away from any judgment or thinking that there's someone bright that's doing all this and think it's just very simple. We made a switch from communal education, like single story room that we've done forever, to suddenly be industrialization, same age, same class, and there's always just one teacher. That's it. You're not learning from older kids. You're not learning from peers that are male or female. It's one person. And this person, I'll call her my mom, is this teacher that's like, be safe. Oh, nope. Can't use scissors till we're 10. Might get snipped. Might cut your skin a little bit. Love my mom. Love these teachers. But it creates a different push. And the stats are pretty frightening on men. Men are 3 to 4 times more likely to commit suicide. Yet younger men. 3 to 4 times more likely.
So this is why you think that tons of men are like very weak or very not as masculine as before, and they are very much pussy people. Let's say, I don't know what is the right term. Is that the medical term? Pussy.
I think that's the medical. Yeah, that might be. I would say, in my own view, right? I want to be proven wrong. So destroy me in the keyboards and blah blah blah. My own observations are, one, these amazing teachers like my mom, they just lead fully heart, 100% heart. Fear of losing the kid, fear of the kid getting hurt. Or like, I'm the male figure to my son.
Wait, is that heart?
It's partial heart, right? I love you so much. If you're hurt, it's going to hurt me because you'll be crying about you cut your finger and that hurts my heart. You know, it's this like, it's fear. Fear is the real emotion, but it's tied to.
Okay. Well, it's fear. I wouldn't say heart, because heart to me, let's say that's pure, and fear is not. Fear is something that we pick up during our life.
Correct. I think I would say heart-led people, that leads them to the emotion of fear sometimes they think is just pure love. It's an unintended consequence.
I disagree that this is heart.
Here's part of the reason I say, Pablo, is because I think if I lead with these people are bad, they're creating a bad influence. They
are stupid. No, I'm kidding.
The second one is this concept of co-CEOs in the household. BlackBerry, for those old enough to have the BlackBerries, they were crackberries. They were amazing cell phones. They were transformative. Co-CEOs. BlackBerry is either bankrupt or nobody knows what it is anymore. Co-CEOs lead to failure. It's kind of like communism. It's just a question of how fast, right? Communism, co-CEOs, you're going to decline. Question is it today, tomorrow, an 8 month or a year? Co-CEOs of a house, right? And I would say this at the beginning and end. I don't care if it's the man or woman that is the CEO. I don't care. It is oftentimes the man. If it is a woman, totally fine, cool. But if you don't pick one, your organization, BlackBerry, a home, will decline. And this attempt at, and I'm guilty of it too, right? When my wife and I weren't clear on like, hey, what are our expectations and what are you going to own? What am I going to own? What are our roles? It just creates confusion and frustration and expectations that are not aligned. Having a pure leader that's going to execute a vision and having, just like we talked about, you're starting a new project, right? I'll say, you said, I have an amazing execution team. Okay, you're the visionary CEO, and then you have a team, a COO, a chief of staff, blah, 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 that are executing. It's got to be the same with the house. And I think those two reasons combined create a culture that is pushing forward this focus on feminine traits and females, right? I'm not even trying to judge. It's just a fact of what has shifted. I think those are the two major motivators, that no one's at fault, no one's bad. A woman can be an amazing CEO of a house or a business. Great, support it. Just choose that person to be CEO. Don't try and co-CEO. Never co-CEO.
So the TLDR, basically, from your point of view, is just women go back to the kitchen. Is that what you're saying?
My grandmother, who's my inspiration, never cooked a meal. My dad never remembers seeing her cook a single meal. So I'm not saying women in the kitchen. I'm saying pick a CEO. That's it. Pick a CEO in the house. Allow that person. And I actually think the CEO should be the one that's living in what would be described as a more masculine energy, which can be the woman or the man. It doesn't matter. I've told my triplet sister is an amazing thinker. I think she'd be a great CEO for their household, right? I support that. I push that. I have a cousin, same way. I've told her, you'd be a great CEO of the house. It's that if they don't agree on it, it just creates collision, confusion, and problems.
Peter, in the podcast, who is the CEO?
Maybe that's a good question. Definitely you. Definitely you.
What are you, Peter?
I'm like a monkey. You paid for peanuts, you get a monkey. You only paid for peanuts. You got me, a monkey.
Peter, are you the COO?
Definitely not. No, I'd be like the joke role. This is what I was after I sold my business. I was chief strategy officer. I'm in the podcast. I'm like a chief strategy officer.
Which nobody knows what it means or what?
Nobody knows, but like occasionally there's something interesting that comes out of him.
Well, for me, you are like Elvis, like when he was fat, you know, all fast on.
That's good.
People are literally just grabbing him and luring him to the piano, putting the hands in the key, and that's you. That's you. And you do your job, you know, you just sing. Well, it works. It works. But you have no more erections. You are all drooling.
Drew, Elvis, get on stage. Part of this, Pablo, that's going to be interesting on your responses. I have traded off my like timeliness, my focus a lot of ways for being more of a kid, right? And this is less trying to be an excuse or whatever. It's like,
sounds like an excuse to me, but
these kids, yeah, I mean, it can be used as an excuse. It's like the kids just don't care. Like coming back to our comment about the school, they don't care. Like I'm like, we're gonna be late. They're like, cool. I'm eating my yogurt. Just like I'm having a great. I'm present.
Oh, let's go back to that, right? So I still trying to understand how your brain works or doesn't. Most likely doesn't, right? But I'm trying to figure that out. So, and you're like, we're meeting today, and the first thing that you said is, oh, I don't have an intern today. Like meaning that there is nobody here that can lure me to what I need to do. Exactly. So how does that work in your brain? Let's just say the last time that we met.
Yeah.
You wake up. Do you have an alarm? Do you know? Walk us through why you are late every episode. Just walk us through that. Come on.
Every episode's a strong statement. Falls under the absolutes.
Listen, I am the Argentinian. I bring the exaggeration to the podcast, okay? So leave me the fuck alone. Thank you.
I was with our equivalent of mutual friend Argentinian, and I was laughing because he exaggerated twice. I was like, dude, you're still, the Argentina hasn't left you.
It's always with us.
So I think about this deeply on a deep level, right? So like fair and freedom, I look at being present versus a plan. So they're trade-offs. So being fully present, I try and be as present as possible on this podcast. I have no idea what's happening in my house. I have no idea what's going to happen the rest of my day. I do not care. Pablo is all that matters in the world. And I think that's a trade-off, right? So my plan goes down here, right? Whatever plan I may or may not have, right? So let's come back to the day.
Oh, wait. Isn't that an extreme way of looking at this?
Yeah.
And this is what, okay.
Very extreme.
Well,
it's childlike.
Let me say it in a different way. Isn't that an absolute way of looking at this?
I don't.
What is your phrase? What is your phrase?
Amateurs think in absolutes, professionals probabilities. I didn't say I only think of it, right? Now,
well, but the way that you're like, well, and then it just doesn't matter. So you don't have like a sense of, okay, today at 4 or today in the afternoon, I am doing XYZ. Like you just don't, or
I have a calendar.
And yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, and my assistant is managing it completely.
Yeah, but
it's same no. Yeah, it's on my phone too.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to understand.
But see, all these things. I love this conversation because it gets so deep. I don't want to be on my phone.
Yeah.
Phone nets me close to those who are far, and far from those who are
blah blah blah. Wishy washy. You were on WhatsApp like 5 minutes before the podcast, so fuck you. Okay?
Because I missed you. Truly, I was like, yeah,
whatever.
I miss talking to Pablo.
You're just like chatting. So people may think that you are this high level enlightened entity. Like you're always trying to portray yourself like this enlightened person that has no problems in their lives.
I am a child,
and
if you think a child's enlightened, then maybe I want to be a child. That's how I operate. That's how I try and be.
So, but you're still not answering the question, Peter. Come on, try.
The morning is not alarm to wake up. The morning or the alarm is to go to bed, which ideally is between 9 and last night I went to bed at 9:30. Maybe closer to 10. Between 9 and 10, I'm asleep. I woke up at 5 a.m. The
Today?
only thing yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday was 5. This morning was 6 a.m.
Okay.
The only thing on my mind right now, I've been doing it for a week or 10 days, is Qigong. So I do Qigong immediately for 20 to 30 minutes. I don't touch my phone. I won't look at my phone. I don't want to think about my phone. I go put on Qigong and I do, movements and, all these kind of Qigong things.
Yeah.
It's weird. The first day I did 20 minutes, I had a complete flow state day. So I'm really on that. So then
You had a what?
I had a day that was the most amazing flow
Oh, it's flow. Okay.
ever. Just like powerful flow through the day between activities and how the world aligned. I messaged you about it.
Just come back to today.
I'll come back to that. Today, I finish after 30 minutes. I do a couple movements. I do this essential somatics to align my body. And then I jump in the sauna. I haven't read the Bible, so I'm trying the Bible. I want to read the whole thing. And then I do that while I'm in the sauna.
You read the Bible in the sauna?
This is the first day I've ever done it. But like the guys I started the nonprofit with read it, and they've been encouraged. They're like, just read the whole thing and just see what you take away from it. I was like, okay, I'll read that.
But you read that in the sauna or what?
Today I did, yeah. And then that's an hour, and it's so powerful because
Where do you have a sauna in your house?
it's in the basement. It's kind of hidden in a room. I like it because I can be naked. No windows, nothing. It's like it looks like a room that, yeah, it's awesome. So that's an hour. That's like 6 to 7. And then I come upstairs because my kids are usually naturally waking up without alarms between 7 and 7:30. Well, I come up a little later. It's like 7:15, 7:20. Everyone's asleep. My wife.
That was today.
That was today. This is today.
And so far it's 7:30 and you still have no clue what you are doing today, right? You have no idea.
No idea.
You have no idea what's in your calendar. You have to drive XYZ. I mean, you want to take your kids to
I want to take my kids to school. That's the only
for
thing.
sure that you know that you're doing, and you know that you are leaving. At what time do you leave?
Well, we should leave at like 7:50 or 7:45. We usually leave at like, just after that. So I get the kids. My daughter goes, I'm not going to school today. And she gets one day a semester. My wife decided, so does he. So she didn't go. So I took just my son, which was fun. Asked questions, dropped him off, came back, and I'm really excited about this idea of next week. I'm getting every business owner I know in the city where I live to come together from 4 to 5 to celebrate being a business owner and helping each other out. And we all deal with everyone else's problems. Let's celebrate that for an hour. So I just dove into that, like full speed. Draft the email, I've got 80 or 90 people I'm sending an email to and inviting them to this restaurant my 24-year-old buddy bought. So I was doing that email and I was just finishing it. And as I'm finishing it, I'm on with my assistant who's helping me put together the email and everything. And I was like, man, I miss Pablo. And I start messaging the WhatsApp, and then I'm like doing my final touches on the email, and then you call. And that's like legitimately beginning and end the whole day. I know I have a work.
So you are on the phone with your assistant.
Yeah. You
are late for a meeting and your assistant is not telling you anything.
Yeah, that would be a problem. And that's, I commented right after. Now I've had her working on this for 2 hours and she should have.
So now okay, fine. But let's just say that your intern was around.
Oh yeah.
Who lures you?
He does.
Like fucked up Elvis into the piano. Like he just comes like, hey Peter, you need to be in the podcast in 5 minutes, or what does he do?
Yeah, he comes, I set up the podcast, you need to jump on. He comes 10 minutes before, he comes 5 minutes before, and then he will physically grab me 2 minutes before beg. You gotta go.
What is it? I'm very curious. What is it that you like having all these people? It's like an ego thing. You like to feel important. You like the touchy of people. Like what is it? I'm very curious.
Come here, you touchy time. None of that.
They grab you by the dong and they pull you.
No.
What is it?
No dong grabs allowed. Firm policy across all areas.
Very firm. Very firm.
Yeah, except I did get a shot from my 2-year-old today straight to the dog. She's like, come with me. Just slam. Just straight shot. That's the only grabs or hits I'm getting right now. It's a good question. I don't think I do get energy from people. I think when you say a lot of people around, it just all comes by definition. Like go to India. Would you consider it a lot in India? Would an Indian come to my house and say you have a lot of people around? What do you think?
You have a lot of people around.
Who's the judge? Who's the arbiter of this? Pablo? Based on what?
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I have an opinion.
Cool. Let me take this opinion. Let me roll it up, read it, think about it.
That's my opinion. You have a lot of people there.
That's one of those.
This is our friend is a very good paint of this. Paints a picture great, which is like just people walking with iPads, just taking notes of things. And that's Peter's house.
Did his assistant tell us that?
He's a very independent person.
Correct. It's a different end of the spectrum.
No, he's great. He's great.
No, he's amazing.
You don't need to hate him, Peter. You have to work on your hate. This anger.
I got hate in my heart. I hate him. Remember, I just kept laughing at him. No, he's talking about booking his United Airlines tickets on his own. Yes, when I met him, this was what he was doing.
And what happened when that's the problem. This is your influence, right? Everything upside down. Then I met him and I just put him in the right path. You're such an asshole. You are sending him like, okay, good luck. Try to hire someone. And you're like, I have all these 2,000 people in my messages that I hired, and it's like, good luck.
It's a great point and question. I definitely don't. With friends I have, I offer them ideas. When they don't seem excited, I don't force anymore. I used to be a guy who liked to force people.
You still try to force people.
Do I? It's good to hear feedback.
Yeah. You shared that you went to a meeting, 4-hour, 5-hour meeting, and you left after 2 hours. Can you walk me through your experience, thought process, feelings, and actions? And maybe you want to give more context, whatever you want to open up here for the millions of people that watch this every weekend.
Yeah, I think it comes back to school, right? We're so ingrained that you start the book, you have to finish the book. You go to class on time, you have to stay in class until it's over. You know, all of these things, it's completion, no choice. And I'm in a group of people that meets regularly. And I started to just get this feeling.
So this is like a forum, right? Like a business.
Yeah, it's a peer forum.
And
I just started realizing, is my energy higher or lower before and after? Compare before and after. And I encourage everyone to do this. A sport, an activity, a person, family gathering, whatever it is your energy higher or lower before after? And my motivation to do this comes from my favorite, probably my top 5 quote of all time. And it's Vincent van Gogh, wanted to be a priest, never could be. And then he said, when I started painting, I would wake up, I'd paint, and 16 hours later, I'd put the paintbrush down and I had more energy than when I started. And that broke my brain. So now I thought, okay, in every area of my life, how do I feel? So I go into this meeting, my energy's here. I go out, is it here? Is it here? Is it here? And I noticed it was different. And I think part of it was I had another, I have like 5 groups, right, that I meet with or that I chat with, and there's a lot of them. But now I have different experiences in different ones, and I have a very easy measuring stick to like check in with how do I feel after this one versus that. Now, I will say I watched like a pretty charged video on YouTube before that was an interview that was like 2 guys going at it. And I don't know if their kind of perspective seeped in. Like I'm really trying to unwind it. Was it that video? Was it the experience of the meeting? But when I was in this meeting, I just felt a lot of the people are so blind on their quest. Many of them may be just seeking out money, or many of them may be seeking out one thing or how they present themselves, whatever it is. And it just was making me feel ill. And yeah, and so, certain meeting I just left halfway through. Just to be clear, it's really probably a couple of the people, but that's what's powerful, similar to any group or organization. You let 1 or 2 that really lead it or drive it in any group, any hangout. And we had this in a big chat we were involved with. One person was tanking the entire chat group single-handedly. And you think of it, it's like an ink drop into a vase of water, right? You drop one black drop of ink and the whole water has now tinted for everyone's experience. And I noticed this in a way that I'm just happy, and Pablo, you've been an inspiration on this. I'll just leave in any event, organization, night, gone. Just, I'm out.
Why are you saying that I've been an inspiration?
Because you're great at, and a tip for the group, anybody that ends up watching this, or just our kids who is watching this in the future, my dog, is you do a great job. And some of this we've iterated on, but like when someone asks for a meeting or you're going to an event, it's like, what is the goal? Not that it has to be outcome oriented and that, money or an accomplishment. It may be, I enjoy talking to Pablo. Like that's my goal jumping on here, is to feel like play chatting with my buddy Pablo. No other goal. I don't care. That's why. That's my goal. Cool. I'm at peace with it. This morning, my assistant was like, hey, this guy wants to meet to learn about your entrepreneurial journey. He's a wealth manager. And I was like, okay. So I'm talking through this with her. I'm like, okay, so his goal is to hear about my entrepreneurial journey. Okay, so how can you share that? And she was like, well, you have videos, you speak to classes every year about entrepreneurship. I was like, yeah, great, send it. And I go, do you think that's really his goal? Is that really why he wants to talk? She's like, oh, he's probably trying to help you invest. And I go, okay, do I have interest in that? And I think zooming out the way you've pushed.
But you are also task oriented. I mean, you were just going with an email and doing things and so on. I guess that the challenge is, how do you ever get anything done? And I guess that is just somehow you get surrounded with people that it's not even intentional, right? Because it just happens. I think it just happens. I think that it just happens to you. Seriously. I think that people are like, they feel sorry for you. That's what I think that happens.
This poor guy, somebody's got, he may die. If I'm not around, he's going to die. He doesn't know how to feed himself. I don't know if he showers.
No, I know that he doesn't, for sure. That's a fact. That is verified, confirmed. Okay, so let's go back to, you are in this meeting, and I want to understand, you when did you realize, okay, I need to get out of here, or okay, I'm trying to find a way to escape, or do I stand up and say, guys, this sucks, bye, or something in the middle?
I kind of all the above. And I encourage everyone to realize this. I'm not saying avoid hard things. I have no fear around something that's hard, right? And it's actually, in some of these groups, that's what I want. I want to just discuss the actual root issue, not superficial, I'm trying to sound cool. I want to be doing hard stuff. I want to go into hard stuff. And so it's not, hey, something gets hard, leave. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when it doesn't feel aligned, maybe you're with a group and they're all lying. Maybe you're with a group and they just want to get blacked out drinking alcohol every night. And that doesn't feel right to you, right? And whatever it is, it's trying to stay in alignment of who am I? Who do I want to be? And am I chasing cheap dopamine? Am I trying to be someone I'm not? When we realize that, that's what I create like an allergic reaction to. And it's like, I can feel physically ill around like, wait, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. And once I realize it, once the kernel's in, it's like a virus, right? Whether you say something, right? And like, you've given me so many tips as you stayed at my house or see my life, been like, hey, do this differently. And it's like, oh, okay, I can't unsee it. And so I want to change it. I want to change whatever it is, the relationship, the person, the whatever it is. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, that was a general thing of perfect Peter navigating life perfectly, but I want to know specifically.
You know, I hate the word perfect. It's probably my least favorite word in English.
There you go. So what was the question they asked me before? Like, what can you do to annoy me? There you go. Like I call you like that. Fantastic. I got it.
You could do it.
So okay, after your perfect answer about perfect Peter, I want to know
life
one more time. Same question.
I looked at an opportunity moment. I looked at a moment where I said,
but before that, when did you get okay, I need to get out of here?
I'd be lying if I try and say like, oh, it just hit me. It was like,
it was building.
It was kind of building. That's
you were
right.
Thinking through this in the 2 hours.
I mean, part of it too is it's these groups we're associated with, right? We become part of a tribe. Hey, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I'm an independent. I'm a banker. I'm an insurance guy. We label ourselves and we feel comfortable in that. But once we realize that label doesn't fit us, right? That's what I was like, wait, this doesn't fit. This doesn't fit. I'm wearing a jacket that's like I'm allergic to. Like I put on a piece of clothes, I put on this jacket and it feels allergic. And the allergy doesn't reduce, right? And each time you put it on, and then you're like, before you even put it on, you're like, I can't put on that. Like my skin just freaks out. I was feeling that. And then, I do think you got to balance. Sorry, you don't have to. I was choosing to balance, and maybe I shouldn't be, maybe flipping and I shouldn't be, of like, okay, someone's trying to present something important about their own life. So it was like, okay, there's like 3 or 4 people going to do that. The minute they're done, I'm out. I just walked out. And I did. So, that was it. It was like halfway through.
When do you leave? So I guess that you have like this live presentation, and then you have maybe issues and opportunities, and then you just leave.
Not in this, we do a bunch of different groups. This particular group, it was not that. It was just
the updates.
It was just kind of people updating on a little bit in this.
So when you left, did you say something?
No, I had my little pad that you recommended that I take notes on, and somebody who was in the group organizer was like, I was like, are you leaving? I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. And it was funny because this is the fascinating thing. I signed up for an appointment during the meeting, like during a break, to go do a physical therapy, like just work on my body. And I never thought about this until you're asking this now. It was like, I was uncomfortable, allergic in putting on this coat. No, I went to like align my body, right? Kind of deep, right? I didn't think about this until we were reflecting of like, I mentally wasn't in alignment, and my body was having a kind of a reaction. And then I wanted to be in alignment physically. So I literally signed up for a 30-minute appointment. I went directly there, and I did a 30-minute, I was showing him my squat because I couldn't squat. I didn't know how to squat properly. Like everybody thinks they can, but I wasn't. And my ankles were too tight and I wasn't engaging my glutes, and I had all these things I was working on. He's like, whoa, you're getting better at this. You can actually squat now. But here's 2 things you're not in alignment. And to come back, I was trying to get physically aligned because I wasn't mentally or physically aligned during the day.
So you booked an appointment for
during that to get out
whatever.
I didn't tell anyone. I I just walked out. I said I'm leaving. They said, and I don't know if it's a joke or serious. He's like, you can't leave. And I was like, okay. And then I left. No, it was during break. Like I don't want to try and present Pablo's.
Didn't say bye to people. Just walk. Just left.
No, I did like a wave.
Hi guys, I'm leaving.
I didn't even do that until the question was, are you leaving?
Wow.
I don't know that it's a wow. Like here's the deep.
It's a wow, Peter. You used to be a fucking pussy. It's a wow.
I'm obsessed with this dirty dopamine versus clean dopamine. And clean dopamine feels scary, scary, scary. You do it, you're a rocket ship, you feel great. Dirty dopamine is, I want this, right? Gambling, pornography, right? One night stand, whatever these things are, right? However you get your dirty dopamine. And after you do it, you're crashing. You're a rocket ship crashing. And there's tons of phrases, right? Hard decisions, easy life, easy decisions, hard life. It felt hard to do this, to go outside of the herd, to not feel aligned. And it's not, I'm in 5-6 of these groups. They're all great for the right person at the right time, right? I don't judge those people. I'm not right or wrong. This is my own, okay, this doesn't fit. It's too big. It's itchy. I don't want to be this. It's actually fascinating. The founder of NVIDIA says that. He wears the leather jacket because most clothes get itchy. You say this too, right? You have to wear comfortable clothes. And it's fascinating when people don't realize the power of our somatic experience, our bodies sharing with our minds and back and forth information we don't understand.
Love it. I'm not gonna ask you any more about the group, but that was a very cool one. And I guess that as maybe takeaway or something to analyze is like in which other areas of our lives we are just going in autopilot. What are the everyone that is watching most likely works or has some kind of job. And if you are in meetings, like, is it really valuable? All the meetings that you have, are you really bringing value? What are the meetings that you are doing in autopilot? What are the things that you should remove? The relationships, the whatever that is, checking that, I think is so important.
You are an inspiration on this. I think you're good at not committing and then you'll walk out. The other one who's a master is the guy that I started the High School Hustle nonprofit with. We were meeting with like a mayor of a big city.
You mentioned this, yeah.
It was the worst meeting I've had in 10 or 20 years. He's a former mayor of a city. And this guy's got like, an ego that could crush you with the weight of just how big it is. And 10 minutes of this meeting, I'm feeling emotional and like, man, I'm uncomfortable, the allergic feeling, I should be out of here. The guy I co-founded with, it's an hour-long lunch we're at. He stands up somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes in. It's like, hey, our executive director, you got the tab, right? Okay, cool. Hey, I have to run to the meeting. See you guys. Now, I don't know if he probably didn't have another meeting, so I should give him crap for that. But just him staying up, and all that went through my head is, I should do that. I should do that. Follow him. And I didn't, right? To your point of me just not doing it. And it's not to be rude. There was still a representative of our team. We were going to pay for the meal. We were offering advice, but it was clear, like, we had so much we could share with this person on what they want to do, something they were trying to build. They didn't want any of it. So then it's a realization, and you've said this, what's the goal of the meeting? Well, our goal was just to help him out in a nonprofit venture. He wanted no information. He just wanted to tell us why he knew everything and why we were wrong on everything. And it was scary because it's like, man, this is an example of a politician whom I had a lot of respect for. And after that close encounter, it was very hard. And maybe he had a bad day, maybe whatever. That was a horrible experience. But watching him stand up, just leave in a peaceful, respectful way of, hey, I'm slipping out. We got the bill. And I'm sitting there, right? And it's the opposite, right? Because I'm like, should be doing clean dopamine rocket ship. I don't. So then I'm crashing. But I didn't realize it could get worse. It only got worse. Now I did leave maybe at the 45-minute mark to an hour. And I think maybe we all did. And we just kind of cut it short. But yeah, it's fear, man. Like me in that moment, I was just probably fear driven. I don't want to say I shouldn't be at this meeting. And it's so important to recognize it doesn't mean I'm scared of doing something hard. I want to go do hard stuff. I want to build hard stuff. I want to talk about hard stuff. I want to dive into the hard stuff. I don't want to be sitting in an allergic situation.
So if you go back to that lunch and imagine that your co-founder is not there, it's just you and your COO, what would you have done different?
Today or back then?
Today, right?
Gone. 10 minutes in. Gone.
Okay. That's one option. What's another option?
That's my intention. If I slept well, if I'm in a confident place,
what is another option?
Fear overcome. Huh?
What is another?
Other option is you sit the full hour or cut it short to 45 minutes.
Yeah. Another option.
I go full Pablo. Do you realize you're an idiot?
I never say that.
I'm just kidding. Kind of. Hey, that's wrong. You wouldn't say you're an idiot. You'd be like, well, that's wrong. And I think there is a path, right, to just communicate, because like he was wrong on most of the stuff he's saying. Here, Pablo, here, one example. This guy knew my grandpa.
But wait. I ask you a question. Don't divert. Come back.
Okay. Cut the meeting short. 10 minutes, cut the meeting short at 45 minutes.
Well, cut the meeting short or you leave? Like, because that's not cutting the meeting short. Right?
Sorry, 10 minutes. Leave it 10 minutes.
Still there.
Leave it 10 minutes. Cut it short at 45. Say, hey, we can wrap up now. I think another thing would be to
there you go.
Just realize it's going horrible and saying, hey guys, let's keep this to 30 minutes. Food's coming out and let's bounce.
What is the biggest? What is the most badass move that requires? No.
Tell me, educate me, enlighten me.
I have one idea. I have one idea, right? Which is, in my opinion, is the hardest thing to do. Walking out.
I've got a fourth one. Sit down and say, I thought our goal was for me to help share things we've learned. It seems you aren't interested in any of this. If you're not interested in this, I want to respect your time and mine. I think we can just end the meeting. I think that's the right answer.
I like that, but also you might be wrong, and therefore maybe double checking what was his goal, because that's
asking rather than saying.
You understand. Let me just pause for a second. I thought that the goal of this meeting was XYZ. What, just to make sure that we're on the same page. What's your goal on this meeting?
Wow.
So that way we can all be productive in the meeting. I was like, I just want to be like, okay, got it. Well, let's just talk about this, because then we have different agendas here.
Yeah. Spot on.
To me, that is the biggest move. That is the most.
You're right.
Go back to your meeting. Go back to your meeting, the 4-hour meeting that you left after 2 hours. What is the right big dong move right there?
It's a good. So the one with the mayor, I completely agree, because it's like a one meeting.
Yeah.
I'm in, these 4 or 5 like business group kind of things. That one, it's a little bit different. Maybe I'm trying to avoid it or
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
But to stop it and say, what is our reason for meeting, guys? Feels like we're off. No, you're right. Like, so one of the other reasons I left was there was a speaker coming. I didn't want to hear the speaker. Now,
yeah. So one more time, what is the right thing to do? The most difficult thing to do,
is just speak the truth.
What would be the truth, let's say?
Yeah. Hey, guys, does anyone else have interest in hearing the speaker? I don't. Or
another idea also is you flip it to say, hey, guys, I personally don't have any interest in hearing a speaker. I personally come here because these are my goals. I don't get the sense that I am aligned with the rest of the group. I might be wrong. I would love if we can go around the room. I really would like to hear, because there is I feel off here.
Yeah.
Again, this is, I'm speaking from your own shoes, but
that's good, man.
Something along the lines, because that is the fucking hard conversation.
Like running away from stuff is good. The only question, right, is and this is beautiful because this is wisdom, not knowledge. This is any group, any organization. Is the deep question is, here's why you're right and I'm wrong. I'll start with that way. You'll like this. You're right because unless you ask the question, you don't know whether everyone actually or most people agree with you, right? Or disagree.
You don't know what they're feeling. You want to know their experience.
To communicate that.
Scared or autopilot also, right? It might not
be scared or autopilot.
It might be lack of self-awareness, what they are feeling.
And I think the flip would be, there's no reason to, dude, so let's zoom out. I'm in a group. It's 4 people, it's 30 people, it's whatever. Doesn't matter. I have 2 choices. Choice A, and I have way more than 2, but let's say 2 general directions. One is I leave, I go on autopilot, I leave early, I zone out, I get on my phone. Another one is lean into the hard thing, right? Just like clean dopamine. It's hard. I don't want to do it. I want to do it. When I do it, take off. The hard thing would be to say, hey, I feel X. Does anyone else feel this? How are you guys? Now the information comes out and now you have 2 routes, right? They either say, yes, I agree, which maybe we all go that direction, or they all say, nah, Peter, you're off, right? They all say this. And now I can choose, because I've enlightened myself and others to this new information. Yeah, you're right.
If you don't do anything, so you already took some action yesterday or today, whenever the meeting was, next month when you go, it's going to be the same shit. Maybe a little bit better, maybe a little bit worse, but it's going to be the same direction, the same idea. And I doubt that your feeling of itchiness is going to go away, because now all of a sudden you have seen something that now you cannot unseen. You have felt something that now you cannot unfeel. So it's going to keep coming. So what is the hardest thing to do is
just be honest,
to share what you are experiencing, which is, listen, I'm not saying that I'm an expert on this whatsoever. I'm just realizing that is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that sets you free. Because if you say, I am feeling that I am not really connecting here. I am feeling that we tend to be superficial. I am feeling that we are not going deep. I am feeling that I have a speaker that I don't really need because I can watch that on YouTube in 15 minutes. And I feel also that I'm getting pitched
Yeah.
And I am feeling that the agenda has some political bullshit that I personally don't really like. I want to be honest with you. This is how I am feeling. And this has more to do with how the energy of the whole group, including myself, not specifically with each of you, but I would like to get to know how you guys are feeling about these topics.
Spot on, man.
Two scenarios is one is everyone is like, Peter, we really like this thing that we have here going on, right? I honestly really like it. I like the speakers and then you're like, good, guys, I'm not coming back next time because at least now I know, and I don't want to be in the middle of you guys. Okay. Now another option is people start waking up. People start saying, yeah, me too. Okay, let's change it. Now that can be, and I went through something similar with a group that I was part of. That is good, but now you are embarking in a situation of working to change the direction of the ship. And then the question for you to ask yourself is, okay, we may fix the ship, but can we really change the current of the ocean? Because the ocean is going in one direction. I ended up leaving everything because I realized I cannot change the current. The current is the current.
It's like trying to paddle upriver. You're just going against.
Yeah, at the beginning I tried to fix the paddle and tried to fix the boat, and it kind of worked. But
we're sinking. I'm paddling.
It kind of worked, but then I find that for whatever reason, I'm just like drifting to a different place. And then I realize, it's the current. Okay, I just need to get out of the thing. Let's just go walking.
You're plugging holes in the boat with your fingers, and then you just get smoked by the wave across your face.
I'm like, I don't know why I'm swallowing so much water here. Like, what's going on? I'm covering the holes. Like, why is
this is deep, man? Thank you. And truly, I think for my kids or the people that just want to hate on us, whoever ends up watching this thing, if anyone.
Why you go so negative?
Because it more makes me laugh. Like it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. One, it makes me laugh. Or, I mean, because think about it. There's a couple outcomes. This helps a ton of people. Great, cool. It's still funny, and it's still ironic. Great. It helps my kids. Amazing, phenomenal outcome. Yeah, my kids don't even want to watch it. It's still funny because I'm still happy I did this. And because comes back to you proved me wrong. And I'm grateful and thankful, right? That you would prove my former way of thinking or approaching it, which was frankly choosing a softer route rather than leaning into what's the hard route. And I'm thankful that you would push me into that, challenge me to do that, and more important, plant the seed, right? Because it's more of, I'm willing to do hard stuff. The first step is awareness. Without being aware, we're in a prison that we may never get out.
And I think that as always, let's just take the worst case scenario, which might be the best case scenario, but which is most people say, I don't know, Peter, I didn't feel like that. I honestly feel very good. It's a good time for me. Once a month, I get out of my house. Good time to connect with friends. I honestly really like it. And when the speakers come, I get to learn things. But I am pretty sure that 10%, 20% of people are going to be like, dude, I feel exactly the same thing as you. And that's how you find the people that you are in alignment.
And I think the cool thing is the other group may get way more out of it, right? They may be on a journey or a path or something I'm aware of, or, who knows, maybe they're farther ahead on whatever it is. I've realized they want a certain thing I don't, right? And whether it's chocolate ice cream and vanilla ice cream, who cares, right? But maybe I'm a chocolate guy and they can crush their vanilla all day. And this extends to, I think, family events, organizations, whatever these things are. But the biggest challenge is you're feeling uncomfortable, right? A lot of times the clean dopamine feels uncomfortable. It's weird. When somebody says it, you're like, I don't want to do that. When you do it, right? It is a hard thing, right? And I also love that you challenged me on, let's go back to the meeting with the mayor. I can just leave early. I can try and end it early. A third option is I can completely try and lay out the truth, be honest and direct, and try and reorient the whole meeting. If I'm not successful with this new information, he doesn't want that, then I'm like, okay, great. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine. I'm going to leave, right? That is a third option. Always try and find three options to any problem or goal. That is so much better than the first two. So much better. as an outcome. I will feel better. I'm going to be honest. And I think a lot of times what we talk about on this, right, is we think people are going to be offended, right? This is the wild mind games. We assume my wife's going to get mad at me. My boss is going to be mad at me. My friend is going to be mad at me if I just share the truth, right? Now, this doesn't mean share it when I'm enraged and ready to rip someone's head off. Not a good time to share truth. Okay, I breathe, I take a day, whatever, or I make sure I'm in a calm place check with myself. I share the truth. It is amazing to me how powerful that is when people can feel, see, and hear that. And I'm like 9 out of 10 times, like truly I would have thought it'd be 1 out of 10 times that they might have been like, okay, just leave me alone. But it's, man, at least the people I surround myself with, the people in my world, my family members, etc., it's amazing how they seem way more approachable about it and then thankful to have received it.
That's awesome. Well, keep us updated.
I know we're at 12. I didn't know if you want to call anything out or cover anything else, but I want to dig in a little bit about some of these readings. I don't feel like it helps. One, you're doing exactly what I would have told you, which was like, before you let people in this Garden of Eden, like check at the entry.
Well, it's normal, right? It's like we are building something and we want to make sure that there is proper background checks and proper interviews and so on, right? That's like a normal good practice on anything. So that's one of the thing is.
I'm curious, is this going to be a final check for everyone? And what about people you've already approached? What are you thinking?
Like you?
Yeah. Am I out? Found
you are.
I don't know how to tell you this.
Have a full Facebook group of readers checking on you.
They don't like what they see.
No, I would say right now it's the people that are in, and these are people that I have personal experience with them. And then I get to the point which is like, okay, this is a little bit outside of, I don't feel, okay, the way I try to make it super simple for me. I'm like, okay, do I want this person to be in? And do I know that this person is a great match? And many times it's like, fuck yeah, of course. And sometimes it's like, yeah, my tone starts changing, like automatically. I'm like, okay, this is not very certain. It's kind of, but it's not ultra certain. Okay. So now we're checking. This is why we're checking, like everyone, basically. And some people I am going to have a call only. Some people it's going to be me, and then it's going to be another person. And then we will see. We don't have a very clear process or system of defining, but what we know is that we want to set up a strong, very, very strong foundation with the people that we feel very, very certain. That doesn't mean anything negative, because in order to scale this, we want to scale it slowly and great. So we have no intent. Our goal is not to be like 50 people, 100 people, 200 people. Like, no. Our goal is to be fucking incredible. Everyone is spectacular. That's our goal. So for that, we need to put the time into the forums, into the hiring the employees, into making sure that the employees have the right mindset. And I would say the first tier is going to be maybe the slowest. And then things are going to start picking up because people are going to start realizing, oh, this is also mine. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing something here. Because people are coming with a mindset, which is, I show up, I don't have to do anything, I am already paying my fee, the meetings suck most of the time, it is what it is. That's most people. So they are going to show up to a meeting and it's like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be doing, I cannot check my email. Oh, okay. Oh, I cannot check my phone during the meeting. All right, I'm not used to that. Yeah, it is a big shift.
You made this comment about, all these different groups that exist, right? There's so many EO, YPO, et cetera. But it's a little interesting in that you kind of said you might come in, it's great for a while, and then you feel like you need to leave.
Yes.
Do you think any part of that's just a human nature thing that we all kind of need to shake things up and mix up puzzle pieces?
No. So you said all, and that's an absolute.
Good, red flag.
Yeah, you are very, very amateur there.
You're right. It's really good. You're spot on. Is it now you're allergic to people saying all, every time, always?
Now, I just bust your balls there. But
here's what, dude, I am. When people say it, I'm like, okay, what they're going to say is wrong.
This is what I would say. Everyone was like me, then I would say, yes. I have the feeling so far in my life, maybe this changes, who knows, that I feel that I need this reshuffling. And that gives me, even if I am in a great group, I get to a point that I'm like, okay, now I am getting in diminishing returns. It's still great return. It's like a 6-star hotel, but I just need a new one. And I get a massive bump of energy going into a new group. So if I think from my perspective, I'll be like, I think that everyone every 2 years should change. I also don't like giving like you should change every 2 years, because people are different, and you live in the same city. Well, now you have 2 houses, but some people live in the same house year round for 20 years. I don't know how they do it. And again, maybe I change, and maybe this changes with me later. But for now, I'm like, Jesus, I need to move.
Especially without kids. Yeah, and maybe you'll want to do that with kids, but it'll be interesting to see.
I like the idea of, because there is something, and I understand that it can hurt people's feelings if you say, hey guys, I'm going to move to the East Coast Forum number 3. I said, but what's wrong with us, Peter? Why are you leaving us?
Oh, I just think the East Coast Forum thing makes...
EastCoastForum.com. Sign up today.
Does your energy just feel lighter every day as you've cut off dead weight, commitments, groups, everything?
I wouldn't say that every day it just keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. It was a massive... So I quit this group, and all of a sudden I realized that I was carrying a 1 million pounds backpack. And I was just, one more time, trying to fix the boat without realizing that I was just getting fucking hammered with waves over and over and over again. And what I did was like, I'm just going to leave the fucking boat and I'm just going to walk on the shore. I think that's a better idea. And then I realized, oh my gosh, now I am inland. I can build a house here. I don't need to ask for a permit. This is total freedom. This is incredible. Fuck yeah. Oh my gosh. What the fuck was I doing wasting so much energy there? Unbelievable.
Becomes so clear in hindsight after you did the quote hard thing or uncomfortable thing.
I quit, and then after I quit, I made the mental decision to quit on a Saturday night. Sunday morning I quit. I woke up and I sent the email. And
say a little bit more on that. Why do you feel you are so much faster than other people from the recognition to the action? Do you have a trick, a hack, a solution for you?
Well, I think that it's, to be honest with you, this was accelerated because of the Snowflakes and because of the leadership of the organization. So if the Snowflakes wouldn't have complained, Pablo has so much fire and I am melting, please help, please help. And then the organization said, Pablo, what are you doing melting snowflakes? And I'm like, what can I do? I am fire. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just creating, metabolizing and making energy here rather than being frozen. Like people are freezing to death because of the snowflakes mentality. And again, this is going a little bit.
I love everything you're saying, man. There's deep. You're actually burning a facade. Right? It's like a building that has wood on the outside. It's just getting burned off.
I disagree. I think that I am just providing energy. I'm providing heat. I'm providing life. And the snowflakes, they just want death. They just want stillness. They just want no change. They just want to cancel the energy. And I'm just being me. And then I've been called to the director's office to be reprimanded for melting the snowflakes, and I'm like, what, dude? I'm just providing fire. What are you talking about? Like everyone is cozy and warm, and what the fuck is going on here? So if it hadn't been because of that, it may have taken me 1 or 2 years more to make the decision, maybe more. So I'm so thankful for the snowflakes, for being snowflakes. This is why we need each other, so thank you.
You flipped it, man. Truly, you took something that makes people uncomfortable and realized to be thankful for it. It's a gift.
I would have not done it if it wasn't for that situation. It's both sides, right? It's the snowflakes and it's the leadership of the organization. Because if the leadership of the organization would have been like, guys, fuck off. Like, what is he doing? Show me. What are you talking about? Grow a pair of balls. Stop bitching around. And be an adult. You're a successful person.
You got smoked by both sides.
Fuck off, guys. If they would have said that, I would have done nothing. But I would have still try to build inside of the organization and try to help make it better. And eventually I would be like, oh my gosh, okay, this group sucks. But here's the challenge, right? When your group sucks, when your forum sucks, it's very easy to make a decision. When your forum is pretty good and the event sucks, and sometimes you get pitched by whatever, a wealth manager, a real estate guy, or some bullshit. And it's like, well, whatever, it's not perfect, but at least I have this group and this group and this group, and that's that. And I don't need to plan trips. So I'm good with that. So I was coming from a great group. I was going to another great group, but it's not the kind of group of what we are creating. It's what we have been before this became official. It's like a whole different level, because people have these characteristics that we mentioned, right? This is people that are givers rather than takers. Like the mayor, for example, is a taker, right? He's just stealing your time, stealing your energy. And again, maybe that was the agenda. He thought that was the deal. Maybe he thought, I'm going to be helping these guys. I'm going to be sharing all my wisdom in my 40 years of politics. I don't know what the fuck was his idea. But you are like, I didn't sign up for this. This guy is stealing from me. I don't like this shit. So givers rather than takers. Then truth seekers. The only way to go deep, to find truth, to be able to find freedom, is by us being totally determined to seek the truth. By us having the agreement that we are seeking truth, I can ask you anything, you can ask me anything. And yes, our ego may get into the middle because we have egos, and it is what it is, and that's how it works here in this how do you say, plane in the earth. But the ego is not dominating the conversation. Therefore, you can challenge me, I challenge you, we go deep, we go deep, we go deep. Why? Because we are seeking the truth. We want the freedom. And then the other characteristic is, do these people want to win, are growing, and do they want to win in all areas of life? Or it's just money, right? Money is one great pillar, fantastic. Financial independence, fantastic. But what about everything else? What about health? Do you have health freedom? Do you have relationships freedom? Or you are stuck, right? What about your purpose? What about your mission? What about your time freedom? What about your personal development, your spiritual development? And then yes, the financial independence. But most of these groups is all about money. Or most of the conversations are about money. There is never the conversation of like, hey, you already have $800 million. Why don't you think that it's time to maybe fix the relationship with your wife? I know that you want to do another real estate deal. I get it. But why don't you address the difficult conversation with your daughter that doesn't want to speak with you?
Yeah. Man. Think about that. Right. That's, ooh, this hurts. I can't do this. Oh, I resolve it with my daughter. My life's better. The other way is, no, just seek out more money. It feels good right now. The next deal.
I want to be around people that are going to ask me questions, that are going to challenge me, that are going to challenge the way that I am operating and thinking, because I don't know everything. I'm learning. And I want to keep growing and developing in these 6 areas of life. And I want to win in these areas. So I need people to be like, what about this? I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh shit. Okay, that hurt. Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
Is that one you'll drop as well? Or have you noticed that, as a newer business group of the 6 or 7 you've been part of, that has it delivered on any of this, or it's more the same?
I cannot comment because I never attended any meeting. So I cannot really comment. We have one friend in common that he's part of the organization, and he says that it's pretty cool, and it's total different level of conversations.
And it's not, do you have smaller groups in this organization that you joined, or it's just a larger group?
This organization is maybe 150 members, 170 members. They don't seem very, attached to the goal of like, let's keep growing and let's keep developing. I don't know what is the financial setup. I don't know how they operate. They are for sure extremely profitable because their fees are way higher than the other organization. But I don't know what's the real purpose. What I would say is they are an older crowd. They have more money and they are an older people. I don't know what it is, but maybe 55 years old, 60 years old average. That's when in my opinion, you get a little bit of a difference, right? Because if you became financially independent in your 30s or early 40s, that's one thing. Usually, most of the time, you didn't work for 20 years in the same business. You did maybe 5 years, 7 years, 10 years maximum, and then you sold the business. When you're in your 60s and you monetize your creation in that, well, you worked 30 years, you missed, not everyone, but there's a pattern, right? People are like just money. They're very unhealthy, the relationships are not the best. And I'm not saying that this is the other group that you mentioned, but there is kind of a pattern. And now they are too old. Like, what are they going to do now? Are they going to pursue their purpose or much better just to pursue another real estate deal? Yeah, true. So that is the difference that I see with people that are, let's just say, below 50 in these groups that we are part of. There is, and not with everyone, but I would say there is a big amount of people in this group, in this cohort of younger people like us, that we are thinking like, well, there has to be something else. Life cannot be another multifamily deal. Like, that just cannot be, dude.
Well, but even that, what's so funny is one of our favorite humans that we share is a multifamily buyer, right? And so that's the beauty of, you can't speak in absolutes, right? Yes, there are a lot of real estate people that like the same thing in the same way, but there's exceptions in every group, and there's tons.
So you are talking about Ivan. We shared a lot of different experiences with him, different cities, different trips, and so on. I never heard him talking about real estate once in time.
Wow. Think about that.
Never. Have you asked him? Maybe you asked him, right? But have you?
No. We've never. We've talked like once or twice, and it was more about how it operates like a business.
So you are curious, and you asked the question.
And I'm curious. Well, we met 12 years ago, and I was telling him about Slack when Slack, no one was using Slack, and he's so appreciative of like,
you Slack, Peter. Come on.
Yeah, back in the day. Well, did I have a business? Was it software? He came to my business. He's like, what's everybody typing on? Because Slack used to have like kind of it used to be a cool, unique thing. I was like,
is the Slack is the one that the trustee uses when they give you your funds on with Peter, you have your distribution of your trust.
It's so funny from what you're saying, right? Because now you can smell it. Someone who's never faced adversity. Here's a deep thing, right? So you asked me about the 3 younger guys and why I like having people around.
It's 3 younger guys?
Yeah, there's 3 guys in the last like 2-3 years that I consider somewhere between a brother and a son. One is the head of this nonprofit, dropped out of 5th grade because he was getting bullied so much.
Wow.
And I won't go into the details, but like that was a death, right? It was so excruciating, right? You don't go back to that man or that boy. You come back a different human on the other side.
Hey.
There's a guy that I'm working on an AI business with, software company he's building. He had to drop out of high school, incredible guy, because he got migraines out of the blue. Every single day for a year, he had to sit in a dark room by himself with migraines. You don't come back the same man. The old you died, right? The third one, I don't know, you got to meet one of the times you came, bought a restaurant this year. His dad, sophomore year of college, just died out of the blue. Rocked his entire world, right? You don't come back at 19 years old. You are a different man. And I noticed this theme of, I connect with these people who have died. They're, we can call it an ego death or who they used to be or whatever it was. And it's so fascinating what they can do in this second life. And there's a Confucius quote that's something like, every man has 2 lives. And the first one ends when he realizes he has just one. Or the second one begins when he realizes he has just one. And it's that quote coming to fruition. And so when I find these people, right, and you ask, hey, just show up or it's unique. It's like, I have like a sixth sense now of like, I can smell it. Like I can smell it on them. It's like, Peter, stop smelling me. get away from my neck. I get this feeling of like, this is a person who's not their original self, right? They've expanded beyond, they're on a new journey, and there's something addicting, fun, enjoyable that I just get a thrill out of digging in with those people, and especially the younger ones. And it ties back to everything you just said. If you're under 50 and you go through this, you can't go from poor kid, I've been poor, I'm poor, I don't have money, to, sudden wealth syndrome. I sold a business, I hit a lottery ticket, whatever it is, I've come into immense wealth. You are a different man on the other side. Whether or not you hide it, try and avoid it, try and think it didn't change you. I mean, I think it does change most people at these younger ages in a deep way. I don't want to say all, right? Because there's plenty that are like, okay, let's do the next deal. I'm going to dive back into the next business. But a lot of times they fall off the train tracks. They go off the cliff. As our friend Anastasia has taught us and showed us with all of her interviews and her podcasts.
Yeah, I love it. So coming back to your question about energy and do I feel with more energy or something like that after I quit this group, and it's like, man, yeah, it's incredible. But I think that is also very personal to me because I've been working on building something for the last 8 years. When I started with my mastermind with my friends, that was business focused, and then I was always in every place that I was trying to help to make it better. And now I came to the realization, nobody's going to build what I am thinking of building, because all these organizations, which they are great in many ways, but they are not built to last for generations. And what I want is something that is built to last for generations. So what is the solution? Just build it.
10-20% are builders, right? And I think about how deep it is, right? What you just told everyone. I had the same thing with the nonprofit with the high school hustle stuff, right? I couldn't find what I want. I tried to give money to get other people to do it. They declined my money. But there's consumers, which is most, and there's creators, which are the ones that create, right? Those are builders, right? There are takers, right? That just want to take, that's most. And they're makers. They're people that make the new thing, that make the product, that make the service. And for anyone who's listening, especially our kids, you always want to be in that maker. You always want to be a net creator when you die, a net maker when you die of, did I create more for others, for the world, than I took?
That is to be a giver, right?
Yeah.
That is to be a giver. And I'm just trying to think like what has to happen for someone to be a giver rather than a taker? Or let's say we all give, we all take, right? But what is the net? On a net basis, are you a giver or you are a taker? And I think that first thing that comes to mind right now is that the only way to be a giver is that first you have to have worked on yourself and take care of yourself, not to perfection, because that doesn't exist. But I think that you need to have gone through a deep personal experience to work on things, to heal things, to improve things. Yeah, how can you put a mask on somebody else if you don't have your mask first, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm leaning there, but I'm not sure. What do you think?
I agree. And I've thought a lot about this. At least ideas I have on it are, when we're born, we think we're the sun and everything revolves around us. If you die, right, an ego death, a religious death, you fall with some religion, you have kids. Most of these things remove me as the sun and put something else in there and allows me to be a giver to surround this new sun, whatever I'm revolving around. And that's a powerful shift. That's what you want. That's what can change your life. That's how I see it, or a theme I see.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you think about these conversations that we have here, this podcast and all the success that it has, millions of people, right, watching this and learning and improving humanity. What if someone asks you, right, that doesn't know you and says like, hey, you told me one day that you had a podcast, but what do you speak about? What do you talk about? What are the topics? Is it real estate deals? What is it?
You already said this, so I'm going to repeat your words, and you reminded me of my question now. It's wisdom. Knowledge is facts and figures and information. Wisdom is the application of different types of knowledge in one's daily life, way of operating in it, way of thinking.
Sounds a little bit arrogant, right? Or maybe I'm missing something in the English vocabulary. If you're like, well, what do you do in the podcast? Well, we just sit down in our great chair and we just share wisdom about life.
Drink a little scotch and smoke a cigar. I think it's important
like that.
I think a lot of people would respond in that way, and I think that's fear to get in the deep thing. But I think true wisdom is scary because it shines a light on our deepest fears, our deepest worries, the things we're doing wrong. And most of us want to run from that.
Okay, but one more time, let's say the person is like, okay, cool story, Tony Robbins, of course you're going to share wisdom. But wisdom about
Please
what?
send a check, Dad. Please, Tony. Please send a check. I haven't eaten. It's hard.
You cannot say that after you just chewing something, Peter. You just
Father Tony, I'm only eating carrots. All I have are carrots, Father Tony. That's it. Send the check. Your answer would be, it's too expensive to spend time with Tony every week. So I got the B or C. Okay, D version. Okay, it's the D version.
I got the Shane version, Shane.com version.
What's yeah. It's like Shane.
Shane. Yeah, whatever.
Look, it's the Costco. It's a discount. It's the D version. But, it gets the job done. It gives a good effort. I've thought a lot about this, and this is what I wanted to talk about. This was my final question was, okay, let's make it more practical, applicable. Let's be not a confuser. The action is we are challenging great, typically business minds in truth to improve the way they operate. Whether that's you challenging me challenging you, or us bringing on a third-party person. That's it. Like you held me to a fire and you said, I'm giving you energy. I'm giving you a new way. Peter, the way you left this table, how many ways? I came up with 2. I should have come up with 3. I couldn't come up with 3, or I chose not to. You offered a third way, which is better. I say thank you, because instead of shying away, which we all want to do, and even initially, whether it's 1 second or 5 seconds, I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Then it's, oh, what if I did? Right? You gave me the third way. Now I'm going to go send an email to a group message because of truth. I will now operate in a better way in this world. That's it.
Like I am a person. We met one day. You told me that you have a podcast. I'm like, hey, I didn't get to listen to your podcast, and I'm very curious. What do you talk about? And then you're like, well, wisdom, blah 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 blah. I'm like, cool, but about what? For example, you have podcasts, and this podcast is about history. This podcast is about politics. This podcast is about whatever. So what is your podcast about? Which topics do you talk about?
We interview business people. We're 2 business guys that like to interview business people to use truth. We use truth in business to find the best way to operate. That's it. In business and our lives. That's it.
So it's a business podcast.
Yes. And how that applies to the rest of our lives as well.
So you think that we are a business podcast?
No, it sounds way too narrow, right? That's my initial response when we say that, right? I don't want to be business. But I think there's also just realizing how people see the world. Like, I love the idea that this guy I met that was my roommate in Cuba, amazing, one business person, but like his goal is to now be an amazing person in life. And maybe that's it. We help business people figure out how to take just being good at business to their whole life.
And when you say we help people, what do you mean we help people?
Or we guide. I'm not a big fan.
When you say we guide, what do you mean we guide?
How about this? We challenge them with truth. We guide by challenging them with truth.
I hear you, but when you say we challenge them, what do you mean you challenge them? It's because I heard that it was just you and your body. Like,
yeah, it's a communist from Argentina and a Tony Robbins bastard son.
Okay, but when you say you challenge, you mean, because before you said interview, so I'm trying to understand, what do you guys do? You interview? Is like a podcast that you interview people?
I look at it as that's what you are doing with me, right? You're interviewing me on how I operate. A business guy operates well in the world, and you're challenging that with the mayor conversation. I get very excited, at least I think,
And what you say a business guy?
Because everyone we've talked to is a business person. Every single person. So far. I'm not using, I don't like absolutes, but name one that's not. Because the maker, here's the reason why. Because in today's world, in the United States and Europe, to be someone that's really changing things, to be a maker or a creator, most of them are in business. So that has been a filter for us to find makers and creators.
Are you in business?
Yeah, I have multiple businesses.
Do you spend most of your time in business? Do you define yourself as a business person?
Strong no to both of those. But I do use it. Most people, when I don't answer them that I own businesses and invest, people's brains, like in conversations, are like, what do you do? I have not found a good answer to this. And they get very uncomfortable and they ask more questions. Like they just keep asking questions because it doesn't apply to the framework of how they see.
Okay, my take is I don't think that we are a business podcast. I don't think that our podcast is about interviewing people or anything like that. Maybe one day it becomes a hospital, as we spoke multiple times, which I am still a little bit hesitant. Maybe it's because you get too excited about everyone or a lot of people. Most people, you would just be like, dude, I had this lunch with this mayor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we should get the mayor for the podcast. That's you. And I'm like, that sounds like a horrible idea, Peter. Can you just come up with another one? So
I have a question. We tried 2. You brought 1 and I brought 1. How did you feel after the 2 so far we tried?
I brought both.
No, you did not.
What do you mean no?
Go ask him. Check the receipts. Go ask him.
How did you meet him?
A DM in some conversation. He asked me or I asked him like a year ago.
Oh, that's how you met him.
Yeah, and then I think we did a phone call or we chatted. Actually, it was me. I DM'd him. I was very fascinated with the way he thinks. Then I got way deeper because of an Argentinian. And then I don't remember how this came up, but I suggested, I gave him the feedback of, I said, hey man, you remind me a lot of where I was 5 years ago, financial in your financial.
Yes.
I'd be happy to chat. He followed up twice and was like, hey, I really appreciate what you said. And I feel that might be right. So we had a 20-minute conversation, 15 minutes. Maybe I actually pushed back. We just did voice notes and I was trying to avoid giving my time. And I was like, wait a minute, this could be a really good person to dig into and try and unlock. Then I presented to you. You said no very quickly, but you said no because we had a bad experience with the prior one.
No, I think that if I'm not mistaken, I asked him, hey, listen, this is how it's going to go. And this is the homework that you need to do. And he resisted. And then he said yes. And
you're right.
He showed up with the homework, perfect homework. And it went really good.
If we try and act like it's not a team effort on everything, right? Then it just ends up.
It's all me. It's all me.
Because it's not a team, it's all Pablo.
The previous guy was all you, went terrible. And this one went fantastic. It's all me. Fantastic.
I remember I get a text, hey, join now. I jump on, I'm like, what's going on here? And then I'm like, I'm watching like, I'm just like, just the emotions of the hotline.
Okay. We diverted. Let's come back. So, see this as an interview podcast whatsoever. Yeah, it is like we just get together and we just talk about things. But when someone says, because I had this question.
Let's flip it. Why do we care?
Well,
who cares?
Definitely you don't care about not even showing up. So that's for sure. But there is a technical thing here where when you create a podcast and when you create the technical part, that means using the computer, which you don't know what it is yet. Maybe next life you will learn. But the whole point is,
I've heard about these things.
You need to choose the category of your podcast, right? And that's and when my assistant asked me about that, I'm like, we talk about a lot of different things, and I don't feel that any of the categories that you are showing me that only the categories that we can choose, we feed into that. So I just put sex.
Romantic.
Romantic. I love that. That's a good one.
What kind of podcast do you have? It's kind of a romantic one. You wouldn't be interested. You just don't waste your time. And then think about it, the only ones, a bunch of these women are interested. They click on it. This is boring.
So let me ask you. Let me
what
ask
I wanted.
do we talk about health?
Yes,
Do we talk about relationships?
very much so.
Do we talk about time freedom?
Yes.
Do we talk about personal and spiritual development?
Yes, it hasn't been a huge part of it, but yes.
Personal development.
Personal development, definitely. Spiritual has been a smaller.
Do we talk about financial freedom?
A little bit.
We don't talk much about money.
Not much about money.
We just brag that we have a lot of money. That's what we do, right? We just, what can we do? That's it. And do we talk about, I'm missing one. Okay. I'm missing one. What am I missing here?
Fitness. You're talking about physical health.
Oh, no. Purpose and mission. Do we talk
Yeah.
about purpose and mission?
A little bit. I would definitely more than money.
Okay, so if you have to rate to not to rate, but to put them in the right order in terms of the amount of time that we spend in these categories, what would be your first one in your opinion? Or
Probably relationships.
okay, keep going.
Then probably
Just
personal
get me-
development.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm hitting the same words you used, but relationships, personal development, health, kind of, and I'm probably missing one, but kind of the personal or the mission / purpose, and then probably money, business. Probably in that order. And I don't know which
We
one.
were to talk about time, right? And how to fear time and
Time's probably number 2.
how you don't do anything in life and you have a lot of time and you arrive late and
Maybe I do everything.
maybe you arrive late all the time. I think that this is like a personal development.
Yeah.
I think that is because what are we trying to do, right? We are trying to seek truth. We are trying to create freedom. This has impacts in all these different areas. And this is why, what do you think about the name? Freedom Flip.
I love it.
Really?
I love it. Absolutely love it. Because, dude, think on the core level. On the core level, it's like my mom and dad caused all my problems in life. If I just flip that to like, man, they did their best job ever. Oh, the problems are mine. Oh, I'm the cause. I've created freedom. Now I may be at the first step, and it applies to everything. It's beautiful. And I let me pull back. Why was I wrong? Like let's flip it back to what we're talking about. I'm wrong because I still like the idea of interviewing people, which we've only done like 2 of, which is not currently what we do. So I'm now projecting something we may or may not do in the future onto where we are now, which has created misalignment between how I'm seeing it, how you're seeing it. You're showing me a correct, and I'm being honest, right? Like you're showing me a correct alignment of, wait, Peter, this isn't stuff we might do that you're interested in, that we've talked about, or that we've had one bad experience and one pretty good experience. This is like, who are we today? Let's stay in the present. And everything you have defined is in the present. Right. And now, could it change? Could I be predicting something in the future? Maybe, maybe not. But I mean this sincerely. Like I'm reflecting on personal development. Why did I get off track, or why did we have a split? Oh, it's because I went to this potential route.
You like that. You like that part. Because you like the Tony Robbins thing. It's in your DNA. You know, you want to be coaching people and
just for only the carrots. This is it. Barely any food, Dad.
Daddy's send the check.
Dude, the ultimate thing, if we had like a decent following, is Tony Robbins dropping a comment on a podcast.
100%.
I would never claim him, or just something really good. That'd be good.
That would be great.
I know you loved when our friend, we were hanging out in Miami, it was like, You're a lot like Tony Robbins. I just don't know if it's real or not.
I don't remember the real or not.
I asked everybody, I was like, give me feedback. Like, what's one piece of feedback that you would change or thing? And his feedback was like, you seem very high energy and a lot like Tony Robbins. I don't know if it's real or fake.
That's funny. So yeah, to me, it's like a personal development show with a spice of or with some ingredient of comedy and
Latin spice. You're my spicy Latino.
you're my spicy señorita.
I'm gonna start when my wife's like, "Who are you talking to?" Just my spicy Latino. Nothing to worry about. I still love all your feedback. Yeah, I would like him to be on time more. That'd be great. Thanks. Thank you for that.
Are we putting the new contribution rule here?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I'm happy to have a financial penalty. That makes sense, and I know it's. Wait, you never flipped it on me. Asked Pablo, how can I offend you?
By being late.
Dude,
by not giving a shit about what we agree.
I've got 6 right here. Not closing all my applications, camera aligned, microphone pointed and connected, accept meetings when sent on count or 2 weeks out, be on time, mention kids interruptions.
I mean, it's not. Let me just go and check. Let me go and check the feeling. So let me just talk it out loud. So we agree on something, and then you don't do it. Not one time, but frequently. And I guess that is the lack of clarity of like, is this gonna really happen or not? And then I am doubting, and then it makes me less invested. Because if I know that you're on time, I am on time. If I know that 50-50, then I start being lazy about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? Because I am doing something before this meeting. I'm not like bullshitting Qigong and all that bullshit that you do. I'm really providing value to the world here, right? You're like in your fucking sauna with all the bullshit and all the biohacking and you know, I'm fucking grinding and working and providing value to humanity while you are qigonging and you know, so I have to stop serving the world to come here. And then Peter, you are with I don't know, with like a vibrator on your anus, awakening your kundalini inside of this.
That's so important. The 4th eye, the eye that it's always forgotten. People talk about the 3rd one, but don't forget the 4th.
So I think that I feel what was the word again? Is this disrespect? Respect? Disrespected?
Disrespected. Would you say disrespected or not prioritized? Because disrespected is pretty.
It's weird because it's not like I feel like, oh, I feel lack of respect or whatever. Because respect is like, what the fuck even that means?
Yeah.
I have a hard time with the word respect also. Right? Because it's like you are you. And I don't really connect with the word disrespect. For me, it's much more about. I am still processing this. This is very traumatic for me. You know, so many fucking late meetings from
cue the crying, Pablo. Here's one question. Let's say that I texted you 2 minutes before and said, "Hey, I just forgot about this. I'm setting up now." Is that different? Or 5 minutes before? Like
the answer is yes, it's different, of course. The answer is like much better than not even remembering. But is it equal to being on time. No, because I think that it all comes back to this is like this, right? You are, when it comes to this, you are like an American commercial flight. You never know if it's going to leave on time. And most times it's not going to, and you have to plan your life to arrive on time at the airport, because there might be the chance that it leaves on time and then you are left on the city that you want to get out of. So, and then how excited you are when you go to the airport and delay 30 minutes, delay 40 minutes, right? How excited you are? Not much, right? Because you are buying something, you are getting into an agreement with something, and that then the other part doesn't fulfill their side of the bargain. That's their side of the deal. So
commitment. It's a lack. You view it as a lack of commitment. Pablo, the only thing to plant a seed that I was thinking about is, and you're gonna respond funny, is there were two in the last month. There were 2 times where you had a friend who was having an emergency as you dug into the group. Both times you needed to push back. And this isn't a comparison. The way I see it, and maybe this ties to the American Airlines flight or United flight, I don't really care. And I don't. This is more me. Kind of. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe personality type, or I don't care about start and stop. Because on both times I'm logging on 3 minutes before I'm getting on time, and then I look at my phone. I'm like, oh, that's weird. And you had texted me whatever it was, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes before, like, hey, I need a shrug. I can't explain to you, but literally the thought in my mind is, oh, cool. Like, man, that's pretty cool. He's there for a buddy. Or, man, I can't wait to hear what he's doing in his like.
I agree. And these are called exceptions to the rule.
What do you mean by exceptions to the rule?
It never happens, or 1% of the time, I have to reschedule, I have to cancel, I have to change, I am late. And this is all about probabilities, right?
And how many times would you say? So we've had probably 30. What number of times have I had an issue?
99%.
No, but if you want to say 100,
I would say 50% plus.
Man, that's an interesting, because like mine could be wrong. Of 30, I think it's
something is off,
58.
right? Something is off. Something is that there is. It's very hard.
Oh, you mean like audio is not working, or
everything, right? It's like,
I thought you meant.
Let me just give you an example, right? Let me just give you an example. So it's whatever. At what time do we meet Eastern time? Like 10 a.m., right? 10 a.m.
Yep.
It's like,
Is it 10?
Yeah, it is. And let's say you are like 9:59. It's like, hi, Pablo. How are you? And it's like, oh, Peter, can you lower your camera?
Okay, that if that
so
sorry,
all of this.
We had different definitions.
Late.
By that definition, yes, you're probably right. It's closer to 40 to 50. I thought you were defining it as a tardiness.
That is like 99% for sure.
I think post me adding these 6 steps, it is.
This has to be very black and white, so it's easy for you to realize, because I don't think that you grasp that you are almost always not ready on time.
Yeah. No, I think that's right.
And again, what causes on me is that then I become less interested in being on time. Not less interested in the conversation, even though it may trickle into that. I don't know. Because when you are here in the call, you are here, right? You are not somewhere else, so you are here. Therefore, you at least drunk Fat Elvis performs for the crowd. But it would be great if he's fucking on shape and shaking the hips.
Isn't it fascinating?
Shake the hips. Let's go. Let's do it.
I always think about this with Elon, right? All these people that hate Elon, and when you read his biography, basically the message I took home more than anything is everyone wants him to be like Elon minus the, like, there's people that are woke or like, oh, he needs to take away this, or like, people that like a dad to be there every day, or like, you can't have it.
Try to bring it home. You comparing yourself with Elon. Let's go. Let's try to.
Sorry, Vincent Van Gogh. Hey, Vincent, I love your art. Why do you have to be bipolar? Like, why couldn't you just had a wife?
But what are you trying to say, Peter?
It's we're in personal development. Somebody told me we're personally developing. I think we all, and if you think about our call, right?
But what are you trying to say? Come back to reality. Try to wrap up the thought.
And many times there are parts of us that people don't like, right? Or parts of us that are not accepted, truly. Now, is it something that I want? No, like I understand that people want to be prompt and timely and everything else. My trade-off that I look at is if it creates more creativity by being fully present. It's an interesting question. Like, what am I losing and gaining? It really is. Like, I don't have an answer.
What was the question that I asked you, Peter?
No idea.
Do you see, guys, what I'm talking about? Do you see, audience?
Right now, somebody's commenting, Pablo just sounds like my wife.
Just put an eggplant in the comments, okay? I want to see the eggplants.
You're the man. Love you, bro.